Hello kids, you're welcome to another exciting class. Today we'll be talking about roads and vehicles. Thereafter, we still talk about public transport. All Nigerian citizens have the right to move around freely and safely in our country. To do this, all Nigerian citizens use roads. We all use roads in one way or the other. Students use roads to go to school. Our parents use roads to go to work. Farmers use roads to send the food that they grow to the market where other people can buy them. So we use roads in one way or the other. Kids, let's get to know some of the terms related to roads. Who is a pedestrian? Who is a pedestrian? A pedestrian or pedestrians are people who walk on the road. Those people walking on the road, as you can see in the picture, they are pedestrians, the makers of the road, and they walk on the road. So normally in every road they have some parts made specially for pedestrians. So those who walk on the road are called what? Pedestrians. Now the other terms we are going to talk about is motorists. Who are motorists? They are people who drive on the road. Are drivers. They are all motorists. Your personal driver, or you can be a commercial bus, can be a private bus, private car. As far as you are driving on the road, you are what? A motorist. Next is passengers. Passengers are people that are driven on the road. You that have been driven on the road. Someone is driving you on the road, you are in the bus, in the car, you are what? A passenger. Alright kids, in Nigeria, there are different types of roads. Sometimes we have some roads that are narrow, we have some roads that are wide, we have some roads that are good, some roads that are bad. Especially, for example, in the rural areas, we can see some roads that are tiny. There are some bush paths close to it. So those roads are tiny, and people that normally pass those roads are not that much. And in some places, especially in the city, in busy places, those roads, the road they have there are always wide, and people are fond of passing that road very well. There are many expressways in Nigeria. What's an expressway? An expressway is a road that joins two or more states of a country. Can you say that again? An expressway is a road that joins two or more states of a country. That's an express way. Most of the roads in Nigeria that are tarred are not well looked after. They have potholes. No matter how the road may be, if the roads are not well looked after, they may get bad. And in Nigeria, we have so many of those potholes. Potholes are holes found on the road. And you know what? These holes make vehicles to slow down and sometimes can even cause accidents. So potholes on our road can cause accidents. There are still some roads that are not tarred. They are muddy. Whenever rain falls, that road will look so muddy. So these roads are not still good for motorists. So it's better to have roads that are tarred. And after tarring them, they should be looked after. That is, they should be maintained. Okay. And now, talking about road also, the federal government is responsible for building and fixing expressway in Nigeria. We say expressway are roads joining two or more states. They are responsible, and they are an agency. The federal government have set up an agency called FEMA. FEMA means Federal Roads Maintenance Agency. Can you say that? Federal Roads Maintenance Agency. These agencies are responsible for maintaining the roads in Nigeria. Now, it's not only the federal government that have the responsibility of maintaining roads. State governments also are also responsible for maintaining and taking care of roads in their states. So it's not just the federal government. The state government also have some duty also concerning road. Even the local government, in their local government, they also have duty to fix some roads in their locality. Now, there are different types of vehicles that plies our roads. Different types. We have cars, buses, motorcycles, tricycles, lorries, bicycles, and cars. So these vehicles are the type of vehicle that plies our highway, that ply our roads. That's for that, kids. Let's talk about public transport. Public transport. From the word public, you have to do with general, for everybody. It's not private, it's meant for everybody. So public transport is a transport that the government of a country provides for all its citizens to use and share, like buses and trains. So it's made for everybody within that area. So that is public transport. The Nigerian government has a responsibility to provide safe public transport for Nigerian citizens. Our government needs to do more because there is a very little public transport in Nigeria today. In big cities like Lagos and Enugu, most citizens use commercial buses and commercial motorcycles to move around. Now, some state governments are now trying to provide public transport. In other words, they are trying to help the federal government. In their own state, they are providing public transport for the citizen. Some state governments are now trying to provide public transport. Example is the BRT in Lagos. What does it mean? Public rapid transit. It's a bus that the state government of Lagos has provided for its citizens. Bus rapid transit. So what does it stand for? What is it for? It's to help the citizen and also help them to reduce the cost of their transportation. Instead of spending money on commercial bus, at least this will to some extent help them in reducing their transport fare. So this is a good thing done by the state government by providing this bus for citizens of the state to move from one place or the other. Now, we also have something like that in Edo State. We have the Comet bus, also help in reducing the fare people pay. At least the amount they pay in this public transport is not compared to the amount they may pay in commercial transport. Commercial transport are those transports that is owned by individuals, and the amount they pay there is higher compared to the public transport. And also, other type of public transport that the Nigerian government can arrange for citizens are ferries, as big boats, that's for those that travel through the sea, through the rivers, through the sea, and trains. So the government can also look into these areas, at least so that the fares people pay in their transportation can also be reduced. No, we said earlier, private and commercial transport is owned by individuals. Commercial vehicles are used for business. They use it for their business. So if the federal government should provide public transport, the amount people spend on transportation will be reduced. So it will help the citizen of the states. And now, before we round up this, what are the needs for this public transport? In what way will they benefit us? One, public transport is cheaper for citizens. It's cheaper. Though in the public transport you may pay, but the amount you will pay is cheaper compared when you use commercial or private transport. Also, it reduces traffic congestion. Traffic congestion is when there are so many cars on the roads that they are all moving slowly. That is traffic congestion. A big public bus or train can carry more people than private car can. This means that there are fewer vehicles on the roads. Having fewer vehicles on the road reduces traffic congestion. That is, if the vehicles on the road are few, as a result of this public bus available, traffic congestion will be reduced on our roads. Number three, public transport is better for the environment. How? Vehicles that use petrol release exhaust fumes that are not good for the environment. Good public transport reduces the number of vehicles on the road. This reduces the amount of exhaust in the environment. Those dangerous gas that come out from the exhaust of gas will be reduced as a result of this public transport on the road. And also, it is safer than some other forms of transport. It's safer. Like it's safer than using tricycles. When you're in the bus, you are safer using motorcycles. So it's safer than some other form of transport. Hello kids, I know you've learned something in today's class. We've learned about public transport, we learned about vehicles and the roads. So the federal government have the duty, state government, even local government have a duty to play in maintaining our roads. With this kids, we come to the end of the class. Have a nice time kids. Bye.